The most dysfunctional thing about narcissists is that most of this dysfunction is intentionally and unnecessarily handcrafted by theirs truly. As narcissists discover at a very young age that the most efficient and effective way of their being able to gain and maintain the control of others is to see to it that others' lives are about as functional and orderly as it is trying to herd an army of cats, and that with just but a spoonful of confusion will get your head spinning around, and that the repeated exposure to the fumes from all of their gaslighting is one surefire way to distort your perception of reality and make any attempts at your trying to figure them out about as difficult as it is to stack 100 BBs on top of one another, or to teach a pig how to salsa, tango, or do the Irish jig, because they know damn well that keeping you stuck to try to make sense of the nonsense that they have strum up diverts the attention off of their wrongdoing to now you're just trying to figure out whether or not you are on what feels like a boat ride with some horrific combination of Willy Wonka, Beetlejuice, and the sadistic version of Pinocchio.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. No way of knowing where we're rowing or which way the river's flowing.
Or if you truly are the Mad Hatter in this fairy tale from the crypt, as they are now off the hook to scurry off and shapeshift into whatever will suit best according to the audience for their next manipulative debut, as well as assures them that you will be right there where they want you, being so preoccupied in the ping pong tournament that they have inspired your thoughts to take up sport in. No way in hell that you'll be able to come up with some kind of plan to make like Forrest Gump and just keep running as far and as fast the fuck up out of there as you possibly can. Because it's not that narcissists don't learn anything from their past experiences or the manipulative tactics that they use as to why they stay forever spinning on their Ferris wheel of insanity. Oh no. Narcissists absolutely learn from the things that they do. They are not cognitively impaired. They do not have some kind of chemical imbalance. In fact, they actually learn the exact same way as anybody else does by picking up on the responses and reactions that they get from others from the things that they say or do. Their brain recognizes patterns and things in efforts to help identify and problem solve. They know the difference between right and wrong and are fully aware of what is socially appropriate and fully capable of distinguishing the difference something they did or said is affecting you positively or negatively, as well as the level or degree to which you are affected by it, and really more of an issue in the way that they interpret and apply the feedback that they get aren't depicted in the same way, stemming from their skewed view of how they perceive themselves as well as how they view others. And they're being devoted to this delusional sense of entitlement, creating an entirely different pathway or wiring, as well as the intentions and objectives behind the things that they do, being solely and entirely for their own personal gain or benefit. Because narcissists think in these extremes gives them this gotta get you before you get me mentality, because there is no middle ground, no shades of gray, no in between. Everything they do is like a double-edged sword or has a catch-22, in that all the while they are shape-shifting themselves into what feels familiar and similar, as they have picked up on that this is their shoe-in to get the information that they need to, one, be able to gain and maintain control over you, knowing exactly what buttons to push to provoke an emotional response or behavior, as well to provide them with fake proof of your smear campaign that will make these lies seem more believable, as their devotion to this delusion and ideation of being the best. And if they aren't, then they are inferior. And they have learned that the best way to remain on top is by manufacturing chaos and confusion in the lives of everyone else around them, leading to them telling lie after lie, twisting and altering anything that they do. Whether it has something that they even should or need to be lying about, it still prevents you from knowing what they were up to. Always going about trying to stay one step ahead, gaslighting you and instilling within you self-doubt, depleting your confidence with insults and demeaning remarks, using circular conversations, word salad, answering your questions with a question so that a conversation with them be nothing more than a chore of impracticality, as the only thing that they intend for you to get from it is say good riddance to another piece of your sanity as it gets flushed down the commode, patting themselves on the back for a job well done, feeling ever so powerful of their being able to make you feel crazy for absolutely no reason whatsoever, except to assure that you remain in this confusional mayhem. The main reason that this works so well, it's not because narcissists are telepathic, some kind of masterminds of psychology, hypnotists, or brainwashing geniuses, but rather because when you don't know what to expect or don't see something coming, it throws us off guard, activating our survival mode and heightens our emotions. And it doesn't matter how smart you are, how prepared you think you might be for this kind of situation. Your emotions will win every time over logic and reason, because that is the very reason why they call it survival mode. Switching everything else off in your brain so that that is the sole thing you are focused on, inactivating your ability to problem solve or make decisions stemming from logic and reason. And why in the heat of the moment or during present interactions with a narcissist, you aren't able to pick up on the red flags, but yet in hindsight are able to look back and reevaluate the scenario, event, or situation, and it seems like the red flag should have slapped you in the face, or how in the world you couldn't see it, as the writing on the wall couldn't have been any clearer. And anytime they catch on to your starting to figure them out, they are going to come back with more chaos and confusion to keep you exactly where they need to, being nothing but coiled up balls of chaos. By creating these states of mental mayhem for you, puts you on their playground and in their ball court. And as long as they are able to keep you on their playground, they are going to fuck with your head and keep your life in as much of a dysfunctional state as they can until there is not an ounce of supply left in your being and no longer beneficial to them in any way, shape, or form, or you end up 6 feet under it. And as hard as it is to get your head wrapped around that these people truly are inherently evil, growing more sadistic over time and getting off and watching you suffer, using the chaos, drama, and shit shows to put you in such a state, makes them feel magical, super god, when in all reality, Michael Myers, Krampus, and Mr. Krueger over there on Elm Street, or any other ghoul, ghost, or monster lurking under your bed doesn't touch a sword to how damaging, dangerous, and horrifying these living, breathing, real-life monsters lying next to you in bed, or the one tucking you in are, and trying to create some kind of order out of this chaos will never work. Rather, as the saying goes, sometimes the only way to fight fire is with fire. Because remember, it's not that they don't learn, it's what they learn that makes them so dysfunctional. And knowing that they think in this black and white mentality and expecting you to react in the way that they provoke you to react, and two, are thrown off when you question their authority, have your own opinion, or dare suggest that they aren't right. Because in their delusional world, there ain't no such thing as somebody else's opinion. And by your refusing to play, and by giving them no emotional reaction, or better yet, cutting them off completely, they do not know how to handle it. And once they are in this state of confusion, is the best time for you to pack yo shit and get the hell out of Dodge, because it will not be long until the beast within reawakens, to which you can bet your bottom dollar is going to do whatever they can in efforts to bribe you back on to their playground. Because the bottom line is this: you are not losing anything by closing this door tightly behind you, regardless of who they are to you in your life. Be that your spouse, your sister, your parent, your child. Because as much as they look like the average person, and as good of a show as they can put on when they need to, truly, they feel no shame, guilt, remorse, or will have any mercy for you. And you can guarantee that they are going to continue destroying your life until you cut their ass off entirely. There's nothing that you can do to change them, fix them, save them, or make the outcome any better. But you can save yourself, and you can get back the life that they tried to take from you just so they could keep their head up the ass of a fantasy land and play God while they go around treating everyone else as if they were Satan. So fight for you. Get back the life that you were born to live. Do not let these evil creatures keep you on their playground. Fuck them and fuck that. Fight for you. Focus on you. Fuck the narcissist.